Welcome to Inner Spiritualism, where we explore the hidden truths and timeless stories that connect us to the divine. Join us on this journey of discovery as we uncover the mysteries of life, spirituality, and the universe. In the vastness of Himalayas, where the snow-capped peaks kiss the sky, what if I told you that a single secret, spoken just once by Prabhu Shiva, had the power to change everything? A secret meant to stay hidden, yet accidentally heard by someone who was never meant to listen. How could this truth about immortality change lives, reveal mysteries, and connect the divine with the ordinary? Join me as we explore the story of Amarnath Cave, where destiny and divinity come together in surprising way. Our story begins in the beautiful and rugged mountains of the Himalayas. The Amarnath Cave is hidden away in the northernmost part of India in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. The cave lies at an altitude of about 3,888 meters or 12,756 feet above the sea level. That's almost as high as some of the tallest peaks in the world. Getting to Amarnath is not easy. Pilgrims have to walk through steep mountain trails, crossing glaciers, rocky terrain, and snow-covered paths. The climate here is extreme. In the summer months, when most pilgrims visit, the temperature can be cool during the day, but it drops sharply at night. In winter, the cave is covered by snow, making it nearly impossible to reach. It's a place where nature truly tastes your devotion. But why do people make this difficult journey year after year? What makes this cave so sacred to millions of Hindus? It's not just the challenge of the pilgrims, it's what lies inside the cave that draws people here. At the heart of the Amarnath Cave is a naturally forming ice structure known as the Shivling. This ice Shivling is believed to represent Lord Shiva, one of the most powerful gods in Hinduism, the god of destruction and transformation. What's even more miraculous is that the Shivling waxes and wanes with the phases of the moon, growing in size during the summer and shrinking afterward. Coming here is seen as a way to connect with the sacred energy of Lord Shiva himself. Many believe that just being in the presence of this Shivling washes away sins and brings peace and blessings. The Amarnath Yatra, or the pilgrims to the cave, is one of the most important religious journeys for Hindus. People travel from all over the India and even the world, braving the high altitude, cold winds, and long trek, all for a chance to pray at this sacred spot. But that's not the only reason this place is so special. There is a legend, a secret story tied to the cave that adds to its mystery and sacredness. You see, it's believed that Lord Shiva himself chose this remote cave to reveal the greatest secret of all, the secret of immortality. But what exactly happened inside the cave? How did Lord Shiva reveal this sacred knowledge? And was someone else listening? One day, goddess Parvati, curious and eager, approached her beloved Prabhu Shiva and asked him, "Why do you wear the Mundamala around your neck?" She asked, her eyes sparkled with intrigue. What does it signify? Prabhu Shiva smiled, his voice resonating with ancient wisdom. Each head on this mala represents a life. Every time you take birth to find me, I add a skull to this garland. It reflects the cycle of creation and destruction. But why do you get to live forever while I have to return again and again? Parvati praised, a hint of sadness in her voice. Shiva looked deep into her eyes and said, "I am immortal because I know the Amar Katha, a secret story that grants eternal life. This tale can only be shared in a hidden place, far from the eyes of the world." But where could such place exist? And what was so powerful about this tale that it had to be told in complete isolation? Determined to reveal this secret, Lord Shiva set out with Ma Parvati to a remote location, a place hidden from the world, Amarnath Cave. But as they journeyed, Lord Shiva knew he had to leave behind all that connected to him to the living world. First, at Pahalgam, he left behind his faithful companion, Nandi, the bull. Imagine the very creature that carried him through countless realms was now left behind, signaling the start of a divine journey unlike any other. As they continued, Lord Shiva reached Chandanwari, where he released the moon from his matted hair. Yes, the moon, which had always been a part of his celestial crown, was now free. Further on, by the banks of the beautiful Sesnag lake, the Lord released the snakes that coiled around his neck. Can you imagine it? The peaceful waters of the Sesnag reflecting the snow-capped peaks, witnessing the departure of fairy serpent that had symbolized his power for centuries. But the journey wasn't over. At Maha Parvat, Shiva bade farewell to his son, Lord Ganesha. This mountain still stands tall, holding the memory of a father's difficult goodbye to his beloved child. And finally at Panchatarani, Lord Shiva did the unimaginable. He left behind the 5 elements themselves: earth, water, air, fire and sky, the very building blocks of life. Lord Shiva, the creator and destroyer, was now ready to tell the tale of immortality. Stripped of all worldly connections, the cave awaited them. Once they reached the holy Amarnath Cave, something remarkable happened. But before the story could begin, Shiva had to ensure that no living being would hear his sacred secret. He called upon Kala Agni, a fierce and powerful being, to spread the fire around the cave, wiping out all life in its vicinity. No animal, no human, no creature could come close. The atmosphere was charged with silence. The moment had come. Lord Shiva sat down in deep meditation, preparing to narrate the Amar Katha to Ma Parvati. The secret of immortality, one of the universe's greatest mysteries, was about to be revealed. But as fate would have it, something unexpected occurred. Unknown to Shiva, a pair of pigeons had somehow hidden inside the cave. Quiet and unnoticed, they sat listening to the entire tale. Can you imagine it? 2 simple birds nestled away, hearing the very secret that was meant for divine ears only. But this was no ordinary story. The moment they heard the Amar Katha, these 2 pigeons were granted immortality. Yes, they become eternal, just like the story they had overheard. And here is the most incredible part. Even today, pilgrims who make the difficult journey to Amarnath Cave sometimes report seeing these 2 pigeons. Imagine standing in the freezing cold at such a high altitude and seeing 2 birds that have survived against all odds. How could they live in such a place with no food, no warmth? Are they the same pigeons that heard the Amar Katha centuries ago? So what do you think? Could these pigeons really be immortal? Is there more to this legend that we understand? Perhaps this is a reminder that some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved, leaving us to marvel at the power of faith and the wonders of the universe. Let me share another interesting story connected to the Amarnath Cave. This one has some surprising twists and important lessons. Deep inside the cave, while Lord Shiva was getting ready to tell the story of immortality, something special was happening nearby. There was a tiny egg that had not been destroyed. Inside that egg was a little parrot chick waiting to hatch. As Shiva started telling the story of the Amar Katha, a story that holds secret about life and death, he didn't know that this little parrot would become part of this amazing moment. Shiva began his tale, and Parvati was listening closely. But soon the sound of his voice made her feel sleepy. She tried to stay awake, but before long she dozed off. At that very moment, the egg cracked open and the little parrot chick hatched, eager to hear the story. It perched nearby, nodding its tiny head as if it understood the important words being shared. When Shiva finished the Amar Katha, he looked at Parvati, expecting her to be amazed, but to his surprise, she was asleep. Angry, he asked her when she had fallen asleep. Parvati, still a bit dazed, admitted she had missed most of the story. Shiva got even angrier. Someone else had been listening while he spoke. But who? That's when the little parrot chick spoke up. It was me, O Lord. I heard your whole story. Can you imagine how furious Shiva was? The story was meant only for Parvati and now a parrot had listened too. He raised his weapon, ready to strike the bird. But in fear, the parrot flew away while Shiva was chasing after it. Now here comes the strange part. The parrot flew as fast as it could, over forest and rivers until it found safety at the home of sage Vedavyasa. Yes, the one who wrote Mahabharata. When the parrot got there, the sage's wife was surprised and had her mouth open wide. In a quick moment, the parrot flew right inside. Shiva arrived just seconds later but couldn't do anything now. The parrot had joined with Say's wife and soon she gave birth to a special child, Shuka. With the face of a parrot, he was destined for greatness, and because he had heard the Amar Katha, he became immortal and filled with wisdom. As Shukadeva grew, everyone knew about his wisdom. He gave up all worldly ties and traveled around, sharing what he learned. But there was one story that made him special, the Amar Katha. People came from everywhere eager to hear his sacred tale, believing that just by listening they could become immortal. But soon, Lord Shiva saw a problem. The balance of life and death was being upset. Watching from above, he knew he had to do something. No mortal should have the power of immortality. So he took that power back, making sure that no one who heard the Amar Katha could become immortal again. And yet, the legend of the Amar Katha lives on. Today, many pilgrims make the tough journey to the Amarnath Cave. They face harsh weather and rough paths, hoping to feel the special energy of this holy place. So these stories, the tale of Shiva and Parvati and two pigeons and the hidden parrot, remind us about our search for understanding and the deeper meaning of life. As you think about these stories, ask yourself what immortality really means. Is it a special gift or is it something we create through our action and stories? Today, the legend of Amar Katha lives on, and so does the significance of the Amarnath Cave. For Hindus, this place is not just about physical journey but also the spiritual one. The pilgrims itself is seen as a path of devotion, where pilgrims let go of worldly concern and seek a higher connection with the divine. The journey begins from places like Pahalgam or Baltal, where pilgrims walk for a days, chanting Bam Bam Bhole, a sacred chant honoring Lord Shiva. The cold and the steep climbs and the long trek are all part of the spiritual test. But as pilgrims finally reach the cave, many describe feeling a deep sense of peace and connection with something greater than themselves. To stand inside the cave to see the Shivling with your own eyes is an experience beyond words. It's a moment of stillness in a world that often feels chaotic. Many believe that visiting Amarnath helps them find inner strength, washes away their sins, and bring them closer to the divine grace. So that's the incredible story of Amarnath. It's a place where nature's beauty meets the divine, where the journey itself is as important as the destination, and where ancient legends remind us one of the eternal mysteries of life and death. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Inner Spiritualism for more stories that explore the deeper side of life. And if you ever get the chance, maybe one day you will find yourself on the path to Amarnath, seeking the same peace and wisdom that has drawn so many before you. Until next time, keep exploring the spiritual and may your journey be filled with light and meaning. If you enjoyed this tale, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Inner Spiritualism for more stories that touch the heart.